Hey guys, so welcome to my first ever podcast. This is my second attempt at creating this podcast, and as some of you may know, I uploaded my first podcast attempt and the video actually got demonetized, and I didn't want that to negatively affect my channel in the future, so I chose to just recreate the entire first podcast. And some pretty crazy things happened this past 4th of July weekend that I wanted to share with you guys and kind of get your opinion on and just kind of get it off my chest as well. So let's get into my first podcast, guys. I'm so excited to get this started. I've been wanting to do this for the past month, and I finally sat down and created my little setup here, as you can see. I have my popsicle LED or neon light that you guys have probably seen, and with time I'm going to be decorating my set a little bit better so you guys have something more interesting to look at behind me. But we're starting out here, and let's get into why I decided to start a podcast. So over the past couple of months, you guys may have noticed that my uploads have become pretty inconsistent, and that's something that I have been struggling with because I've honestly been getting bored of the videos that I've been uploading. It's been grueling to create videos and just not fun anymore. So I decided to brainstorm, and I came up with this idea. And as you can see, I'm such an amateur. I'm just getting used to it. And it's also a learning curve for me because I want to do this video in one single cut. I don't want to have to edit out anything or just make it more difficult, and I want it to just be really real and just raw and uncut for you guys. So that's my plan for this, and I hope you guys are okay with that. So I have my Red Bull here. Let me take a drink of this because I needed that. So, yes. Let's get into why I'm doing this, what persuaded me to do this, and where my channel's going from here. So, I love podcasts. I don't know about you guys, but I've noticed in the past 2 years, podcasts have really become very popular on YouTube, and I have a bunch of different podcasters / YouTubers that I watch, like Bailey Sarian and the Joe Rogan Experience, the No Jumper podcast. I used to watch Frenemies when it was still going. I wish it was still going, but stuff happens. But I really saw that I could do that. And some of you may know, some of my older subscribers may know that I used to have a series called Waking Up with Richie. Sorry, that Red Bull just always makes me belch like that. I hope you guys didn't hear that. Ugh. Anyways, we're doing one take, so you guys are getting the full-fledged Richie in this. So I started my Waking Up with Richie series because I was watching Wendy Williams a lot, and I became really just enamored by her and just that type of career. I thought it was really interesting how she could just turn the switch on and become a, politically correct and professional talk show host. Well, I wouldn't say she's so politically correct, but just professional talk show host, and then be able to turn that off and live a normal life. And I really think I could see myself doing that as a career, and I never thought I would have said that before, but that's the reason I started the Waking Up with Richie series, and I guess you could kind of call that a podcast in a way, but it was still very heavily edited, and with this, I wanted it to be really just, real and raw. I wanted you guys to get to know me even better, and I think this will allow me to voice my opinion more effectively and just, be more intimate and just a more special experience. So I'm still getting used to this. I feel like I have to rush myself, but I don't. I need to take a relaxing moment real quick because I'm talking so quick, and I do this usually when I'm filming my regular videos, and I end up just cutting out the parts that don't make sense. So let me, relax and just take this with ease. I have some topics written down right here that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Let's get right into my 4th of July weekend story time. Now, this is a story time of this past weekend. It's Monday, July 5th right now, so it's very fresh in my mind, and it was just crazy, guys. It was crazy. So, it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. I woke up feeling really great, and something in the early afternoon just really upset me for no reason. And I still don't understand why it upset me so much. And I ordered a sandwich, and the sandwich was delivered to me incorrectly. It didn't have basically anything that I wanted on it. It was from Subway, and it was basically just meat and cheese. No mayo, no lettuce, no veggies, or nothing. And I was very hungry, so I was just really excited to get that sandwich and eat it and have it tide me over until I went to this party later in the afternoon. I hadn't eaten any breakfast. So I got the sandwich, tried eating it. It was gross. I was kind of, peed off. And then, and mind you, I had an argument with a friend of mine the night before, and the argument was pretty intense, and there really wasn't any closure or explanation for the argument, so that was really heavy on my mind as well. And that friend had left some stuff at my house, and he came to pick his stuff up, and he ended up hanging out. I wasn't planning on him to hang out with me, and I guess that was just a miscommunication, but he came over to the pool and he had his swim trunks on, and I'm like, oh, are you hanging out? Because I was with my mom for that day, and I was going to see him later in the day at this party. So it was a little bit confusing because there was no communication about that. I thought he was just coming to pick up his stuff. So we're just hanging out. I'm laying out at the pool. He's sitting next to me, and he's just like, oh, I think I'm going to go get something to drink from Circle K. And I'm like, okay. He offers me something. I'm like, I'm good, but when you come back in, you can just reach your hand over the fence and let yourself in. So I'm just assuming that he's going to come back to the pool because Circle K's right up the street from us where we were hanging out at my apartment. And he ends up not coming back, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I end up going to get food for myself, and then by this time, I'm getting ready to go to a party with some friends. And mind you, I invited him to this party. This group of friends does not particularly like him, and basically the only reason that they invite him is because of me and because they know that I'm friends with him. He always gets in arguments at this house. He's always has a bad attitude. He's disrespectful and just not really, grateful. He never just, it's just, he does the bare minimum. He's not really a good friend to them. Anyways, so we get to the party. I get to the party hours before he does, and I'm having fun, but I'm still a little bit off because it was just a weird day for me, guys. Yesterday, July 4th, was honestly not a good day for me. I don't know what was going on. I had something going on in my head, anxiety or something. And I still don't know what the stem of it was, but I was just bothered. So I'm at the party, but I'm having fun. It was nice to see everybody, and I'm just having a good time. And then we get out to light the fireworks, and literally right before we light up the first firework, mind you, I called this particular friend and texted him and asked him, when are you going to be here? When are you showing up? Because he said he was going to show up this time, and then 2 hours later, he ended up showing up. So right before we lit up the fireworks, he walks out of the darkness with these two people that I've never been introduced to, and he doesn't even come over to me. Like, I didn't even see him until he got up to the group of people that were watching the fireworks, like our group of people. So I'm standing there, and then we end up lighting off like 10 fireworks, and he still hasn't said anything to me. Like, still hasn't introduced himself. So my friend who threw the party came up to me, and he was like, "Hey, hey, are you gonna go say hi to so and so?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I go and say hi to him, complete cold, like acting like he doesn't even know me, barely introduced me to his friends. His friends were acting really rude to me for some reason. I don't know why. So I just brush it off and I'm like, okay, cool. So we finish the fireworks, we go back inside, everybody goes back inside of the house where the party was being thrown, and I'm not going to go step by step on this. I'm just going to basically say that he acted like he didn't know me. He acted like he was embarrassed by me in front of his friends. And usually me and him are like besties, especially at a party. And we don't really hang out that much, but usually we're pretty cool with each other. So this was like bewildering me. Like, I had no idea what was going on. Like, I was just so like, what? And I also had to go home that night. Like, I wasn't planning on staying there all night and like getting twisted. So I end up going up to him and I'm like, "Hey, why are you acting so cold to me?" And he's like, "Huh? What do you mean?" And his tall, like creepy looking friend, mind you, dude, he had like the creepiest looking friend with him ever. This I cannot imagine what this person looked like in daylight, but they were scary. And I don't know if it was like they don't know how to do makeup or what, but it just looked like pale face, like big eyes, like raccoon eyes, tall, like taller than me. And I'm 6'2", and just trying to act cute and like feminine and everything. And I'm just like, so this person looked me up and down and like gave me this nasty look, and I did the same thing back. And then I'm like, "What's going on? Like, why are you acting like this?" And they both turned around and ignored me. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you want to act brand new, like you don't know me. I'm not gonna lie, it upset me because at least give me an explanation of what I did and why you're acting like this. But then I remembered this is very much his character. He's been consistently toxic throughout our friendship. One second, I need a drink. Just this year, I mean, he got kicked out of a establishment that we went to because he shattered a glass in front of a bunch of people and thought that that was okay, and it was crazy embarrassing for me. He's gotten kicked out of parties that I've invited him to, and it's just a pattern and a cycle. And I think, to cut this short, I think that in our lives, when there's patterns and cycles that people are presenting to us that are just like negatively affecting us, you got to make a decision at some point when to cut that person off, despite how much history, how many memories that you've shared together. That's part of growing up. You got to cut some people loose because those types of people will drag you down, will make you look bad, will make people not like you or want to hang out with you, and you got to, you got to put your foot in the door before it's shut. And that's what I'm doing. So it's so important to let go of toxic people. This is not the first instance that this guy has treated me like this. You guys know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say his name. He's been on my YouTube channel multiple times. But at this point, I'm done with it. I'm like wiping my hands of the situation. He unfriended me on Facebook. Like, he didn't even... Like, what? How immature can you be? Like, how, just like, message me, call me or something. Like, man up, tell me what's going on. Or you can play the social media game, because I'm completely unbothered by that. Like, I am not in high school anymore. I know he thinks life is high school, but like I said, I'm wiping my hands clean of the situation. I'm over it. Let's move on to the next topic. Let me just say this. I had a really good 4th of July. Like, my friends that threw the party are the longest friends I've had, some of the longest friends I've had since I moved here to Phoenix. And they have never disrespected me, never done anything behind my back, or shown toxic tendencies in any type of way. So I'm very grateful to have them. They actually had a very heart-to-heart conversation with me last night when this was all happening, and they ensured to me that he's not going to be back, and all he ever does is cause problems. He caused a problem right when he got there with one of the other guests that was at the party, like not even an hour being there. So I think that just shows so much about his character, like some people just need to stay over there. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you know what I'm saying, because I know what I'm saying. Other than that, guys, I do want to say the topic that I was talking about is nothing bad. I don't want to mention it in this video because I don't want this one to get demonetized either. But yes, the topic, I can't talk about it now. At least I know now, but I'll talk about it on Twitter if you guys want to hear more about why I had to do this video a second time. I also wanted to let you guys know that I am having an actual live stream podcast, like fully live, everything like that, and it's going to be on Friday, and it's going to be from 6 to 7 p.m., and if you guys don't know, I'm in Arizona, so I'm on Pacific time right now, which is 3 hours behind Eastern time, so I hope that helps you guys out a little bit. Again, it's 6 to 7 p.m. on this Friday, which is, let me check real quick. This Friday is the 9th. So I hope to see you guys there. This is just my first podcast. I just wanted to talk to you guys and lay out how this is going to go. I hope you're excited, because I'm super excited. I can't wait to see where this takes me. And I'm excited for Friday, and I'm excited to be more consistent with my uploads, guys. I'm going to be having a recorded podcast along with a live podcast twice a week. And I'm also going to be incorporating, short little vlogs of things that I do and different adventures that I go on and stuff like that. It's not just going to be me sitting here and looking pretty all the time. I will show you some more of my adventures in life, so don't worry about that. Other than that, guys, please let me know what you think about this video and this idea. I'm still trying to think of a name for the podcast. I think it's going to be called The Bedroom Podcast. I kind of like that. It sounds like chill and cozy and, just cool. But I also have some other ideas. Let me name some of my other ideas real quick. So I have The Richie Show, The Waking Up Podcast, The Bedroom Report, The Richie Report, Richie's Room, just a couple of those. So if you have any ideas of cool titles that I could name this podcast, let me know. Maybe one day I'll have a cool neon sign back there that just reads The Bedroom Podcast, or whatever I decide that the title is. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I'm not annoying without, cutting my redundant words and everything like that. It is hard to talk in front of a camera when you're not gonna cut the video. But like I said, I'll get used to it. I'll start to feel more comfortable with it. And yeah, it'll just be a great time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you're new here, give me a subscribe and give me a like. It really helps a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.